you've heard of the Epstein files by now. I'm not going to play any videos, you can look those up for yourself. But there were some pretty disturbing things in there. There were countless of emails speaking about pizza like it's some crazy delicacy and everyone wants it that goes on this island. So to put it short, what happened on this Epstein island? If not every, then many of the celebrities that you may have heard of has been to this island at least once. There have been some rumors that he was an Israeli secret agent, like a plant, was given lots of money to capture intelligence. Plus, you couple that with his intensive knowledge of finance. He was probably both giving financial advice to this powerful and influential people, and both providing them some fun on this island. Some have talked about some hunting games. You only see these things in the movies where they hunt people and they get some fun out of that. One of the Rothschild ladies was sending an email to Jeffrey Epstein thanking him for the hunt on this island. So, is it just a case of these elites being bored? They have all the money, all the power, and now they're just hunting people and allegedly sacrificing people in there? Or is it more than that? If you're an atheist by any chance, and you still don't believe in a spiritual world, after all of these things, all these celebrities boldly coming forward and admitting they're Satanists, and they openly admit about these sacrifices that they're doing. We saw in a previous video, there was this guy, Tom Brady, MVP football player, quarterback. He was bragging about his wife being a witch and how she has an altar and she does sacrifices and prays for him with the power of intention. And then things go well for him, and if the sacrifice wasn't accepted by whoever she's praying to, then Tom Brady will have a bad season. Azalea Banks was practicing animal sacrifice in her flat, admitting to being a witch. Ariana Grande admits to being a witch. They're all coming forward now, like it's no biggie. I strongly believe that what happened there on that island was more than just gathering information about influential people and then blackmailing them with it. But I think beyond all of this is a more sinister motive, and that is they were practicing rituals. Aleister Crowley, if you haven't heard of him, he was an occult philosopher and pioneer from the 1900s. He is the main inspiration for many modern artists, music artists, or even actors are basing their inspiration from him. He basically wrote a book called The Book of the Law, and this is about the power of intention, or the power of the will. He wrote many books about magic, rituals, and he said that the most potent sacrifice tool is a child sacrifice. Strangely enough, there's a Jeffrey Epstein email sent to the bank of JP Morgan to wire $11,000 to a different bank account. And this bank account name was Baal, with double A. You've probably heard of this Baal demon or deity. It's an ancient deity mentioned even in the Bible. And it's similar to Moloch. You've probably heard about Baal in a Balenciaga ad. Let me show you. So in here we can see there's a weird picture about a devil-looking figure. And then there's this crazy-looking doll. There's a hoodie that looks pretty weird, the shoes. But most importantly, there's this duct tape. And it says Balenciaga, but instead of Balenciaga with one A, it has two A's, from Baal. So who is this Baal? In the Bible, Baal or Moloch, I think they're the same deity. It's this deity that's mostly known for child sacrifice. Let me show you what Wikipedia has to say about this. This Moloch, Joker guy, or Molech, is a word which appears in the Hebrew Bible several times, primarily in the book of Leviticus. The Bible strongly condemns practices that are associated with Moloch, which are heavily implied to include child sacrifice. And we have this picture here that's very interesting and sad at the same time. So this Moloch or Baal was usually symbolized by a bull or a bull statue, and you can see the size of this statue. So the story goes that they would heat up this statue at such high temperatures, and then they would put the baby in the statue's hands, and the baby would be burned alive. Now you can see all these trumpets here, and there were also drums. They were playing these drums and trumpets so loudly so that they can hide the cries of the babies. So this child sacrifice practice is an ancient practice, and it's what differentiates Christianity and the true God from these pagan gods. These pagan gods require you to give them something. The relationship is always transactional. You have to give them something for them to bless you. So this Moloch or Baal was a god of fertility, a god of abundance. So you had to sacrifice something so they can get something in return. And we can see this ideology everywhere in this world. Nothing is free. And the higher up you go, this is becoming more and more obvious. And if you go to the highest levels, if you want to become a celebrity and be part of that 20, 30, 40 million club, that exclusive club, you have to give something. The Bible heavily condemns this practice. And let's read a few words from Leviticus. Leviticus 18 says, "You shall not give any of your children to offer them to Molech, and so profane the name of your God. I am the Lord." In chapter 20, "Say to the people of Israel, any of the people of Israel or of the strangers who sojourn in Israel, who gives any of his children to Molech, shall surely be put to death." God is not joking about this. In 2 Kings, "And he defiled Tophet, which is in the valley of son of Hinnom, that no one might burn his son or his daughter as an offering to Molech." So we can see this idea of burning your son in Acts. So even in the New Testament, "You took up the tent of Moloch and the star of your god Rephan, the images that you made to worship, and I will send you into exile beyond Babylon." If you don't know what Babylon is, I have an interesting video about this ideology of Babylon, this transactional merchant system. And then Solomon, of course, the star of the Freemasonry and their religion. "For Solomon went after Ashtoreth, the goddess of Sidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites." Satan always tries to copy God. God is called in the Bible the God of many names, but so is Satan. He has so many names, and he's either a male god or a female god. He has different attributes, but it's all the same. It's funny to me that these celebrities, these people that are worshipped by the people, that are looked up to, people want to be like these people. But what do these people do daily? Do you know them? People say they are fans, and that's a short word for fanatic. But do you actually know these people? Like, what do they do? Do you know they usually tell us what they're about? I don't know if this is just predictive programming, or is it a part of, or is the limitation of Satan that God has put on him, that he has to warn us about everything that happens. So we can see how they admit to all these things, but either in the movies or in these comedy shows where nothing is serious, so you can talk about anything. Stephen Colbert, these late night shows comedians, they're the court jesters. They're supposed to be funny, but sometimes they speak the truth.
I must appease him with the gift of a man-child. Come to me. I must feed you. I must feed you to the room of wish. Oh, take him. Take the baby. Take the baby. Don't eat me. I'm sure the baby will be fine.
Is this funny? Jokes about child sacrifice? They sometimes do the same thing with horror movies. Because it's a horror movie, they expose the most horrible things that the spiritual world has to offer. Let's have a look.
Do you want this? Say yes. Yes. Or give up for it. Anything. Anything.
So the children.
And the Oscar goes to
Congratulations.
Anna Victoria Alcott.
She won the Oscar. We've seen the same kind of kiss between Britney Spears and Beyonce, Christina Aguilera and Nicki Minaj, I think, Madonna and some other one. These are rituals. The Oscars, whatever they do in the dark, these are all rituals. They have a religion too. And they're starting to tell us about it. Let me show you another one of these jokes.
Hi guys, my name is Roy, and and for the most evil invention in the world contest, I invented a child molesting robot.
I beg your pardon.
How is this funny?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'll speak up. It's a robot that is designed to molest children, and I call it Robo Chomo.
How is this funny?
You see, it's powered by solar rechargeable fuel cells, and it costs pennies to manufacture. And it can, theoretically, molest twice as many children as a human molester in, quite frankly, half the time.
So, do they have to tell us? Is it predictive programming? Or maybe it's conditioning us to accept this kind of behavior? Or is it that Satan has to tell us about what he's doing? It can be one of those or all of those. And he doesn't stop there.
Children and pineapples. Children and pineapples. I eat children. How old are you? Okay. Only to 10.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Children and pineapples. I eat children.
What about Steven Spielberg? He eats babies. Whole babies.
Megan Fox.
Thing I wouldn't eat or wouldn't drink or wouldn't try. If the person okayed it, I would eat a human. If you were at a very
Chrissy
fancy
Teigen.
restaurant and they were like a tiny piece of human meat,
No. I think the only way
you wouldn't try a tiny bite?
No.
If you haven't already, you should research what Chrissy Teigen wrote in some of her tweets about all of these things. Some seem to be joking, some others expose themselves more freely and more seriously. And let me show you another case of these comedians, these jesters that are always joking, how they try to reveal truths that happen in these circles at the high echelons of celebrity status.
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care. You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right, remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel.
jokes.
So, I came here
He's
in
joking.
a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you
They're all
perverts,
squirming.
it was a big year.
In their seats.
It was a big year for paedophile movies.
Oh, hello.
Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know. Spoiler alert.
Are these all jokes, or is it more than a joke? It's too many of them. Hilarious. And of course, another one of these comedians, Joan Rivers. She says a lot of crazy stuff, but many times there's a lot of truth in what she says. Let's listen to this.
Hollywood, glitter, glamour, and a whole lot of lizards. I'm telling you, half the people at the after party shed more skin than my handbag. They blink sideways, darling, sideways. And if you want that, they don't think Ludwig and Friedrich should have them. You know one of those? You ever notice a triangle? Oh, they love a triangle. Put an eye in it on a dollar bill on the wallpaper in the
Symbolism.
soup. Boom, instant mystery. It's geometry. And then you meet them at a premiere and think, didn't I see you at brunch this morning? Same chin, same teeth, same nervous laugh. Hollywood says it's yoga, honey. Yoga doesn't give you a matching birthmark. They call them, you know what else they whisper about between doing juice cleanses, that little boutique stimulant with a name that sounds like a designer cologne, adrenochrome. Oh, you haven't heard? It's the hottest antioxidant you can, once they've had their, and if the serum doesn't tempt you, the paperwork will. Out here, a contract isn't ink on paper, it's an invitation. They slide it across the mahogany, smile like choir boys, and ask you to enact every line in blood use of courage. They line up for the humiliation ritual, red carpet edition. You know the one. The dress that isn't really a dress, the questions that aren't really questions. Tonight's sacrifice, but the real saints of this business, they don't just give up dignity. They said, we just kill me the worth is at least a one. Since sacrifice in the Guayana Quadsa business, that is son since this. Can we talk?
She talks really fast so that you can catch it. So I'm not sure about the purpose of them revealing all these things. If you thought this is only an isolated event with some people that went to the island, I'm telling you, it's a lot deeper than you think. It's like a cancer. This ideology, this religion is the main religion in Hollywood. Let me show you what I'm talking about.
Operation, but I like playing it with actual humans. I mean, you have to, yeah, you have to someone, and it's not as fun for them.
That's a joke. Say it's a joke. Say you're kidding.
Do you think that people think that I'm really serious? I'm serious.
So he's joking, right? He's a joker. That's what he does. Chandler from Friends. He's just a joker guy. He's not joking. This is their religion. This is how they get to where they are. It's not luck. It's not hard work. Satan tempted Jesus with things of this world. He wanted to give Jesus all the kingdoms of this world. He wanted to tempt even God. So don't you think these people would have fallen for it? They were promised the world. And they took it. And if you don't believe me, let's hear it from the horse's mouth again.
I'd like to thank the devil and all the dark lords who gave her this award and allowed her to feast on the flesh of the innocent.
Welcome to the Satanic Cult Awards, ladies and gentlemen.
Satanic Cult Awards?
All hail the Dark Lord.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that pablum. It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
So by now, if you still think this is a joke, and they're just having fun about all these pizza jokes and PDF business, I don't know what else to tell you. If you think all of them are joking. All of these shows are highly scripted. Nothing they say is random. They don't go off the teleprompter to say some joke that they invented that they want to share with millions of people. Everything in these shows, in these Oscars, in these Grammys, in these movies and late night comedy shows, everything is scripted to the word. I think it's just a case of these wicked people who forsake God a long time ago. They're just coming forward. The light has been turned on and the darkness is coming to the light. The Bible has to say something about this epidemic in Ephesians chapter 5. Let me read you. Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love, as Christ also had loved us, and has given himself for us for an offering, and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savour. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness let not be once named among you, as becometh saint, neither filthiness nor foolish talking, jesting, which are not convenient, jesting, but rather giving of thanks. For this you know that no whoremonger, nor unclean person, nor covetous man, who is an idolater, had any inheritance in the kingdom of Christ and of God. Let no man deceive you with vain words. For because of these things cometh the wrath of God upon the children of disobedience. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness, but now are ye the light in the world. Walk as children of light. So this is not behavior modification. This is identity-based living. We have been forgiven. We are partakers of the heavenly gift. So we are supposed to walk as though we already have this gift. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth, proving what is acceptable unto the Lord, and have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret. All of these things that happened on the island were done in secret. And if you want to go deep into it, that's a deep rabbit hole. And you can see some horrible things that were done. It's shameful even to speak of these things. But all things that are reproved and are made manifested by light, for whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he said, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ shall give thee light. See that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. All these elites that have everything they want, they don't know what to do anymore. So they turn to these crazy practices just so that they can feel alive. Speaking to yourselves in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. So don't turn to those things which are shameful to even speak of. Think of heavenly things. Be thankful. Be grateful for everything you have. Don't covet what these celebrities have. Trust me, it's not worth it. Giving thanks always for all things unto God and the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ. We already have what these people are looking for. They're looking for eternal life on this earth. They're sacrificing their children to these ancient gods so that they can get a few steps forward in this life. A life that will end anyway for everyone, whether it's 70 years or whether you get to 100 years old, it's still nothing compared to eternity. The only thing that destroys darkness is to turn on the light. And Jesus said he is the light of the world. So if you haven't had the opportunity, or for some strange reason, you haven't found out who God is, who Jesus is, and what he's done for us, what his character is, what's he like, what does he love, what does he hate, is he a tyrant, is he a good God, does he want the best for us? Well, the Bible says Jesus gave his life for us. He came into this earth as a human being. He had no access to his divine power. He lived as a human being perfectly, without falling once. And then he died for us as the perfect sacrifice, as a fulfillment of the law and the prophets. The entire work of creation and redemption is finished. He said it on the cross, it's finished. Tetelestai. There's nothing more to add. It's a work that has been done in the past and has continuous and long-lasting effects. He's proved that he is who he says he is. He's healed the sick, resurrected the dead, and was resurrected by God, which proves that all he has said and done is in accordance and in agreement with God the Father. So look for him. Taste and see that the Lord is good. I'll see you in the next one.